Good morning, everybody. Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. Sitting in the greenhouse, growing beautifully. I've got, you may remember, I have some seeds sprouting. Some are ready, some are not. The carrots and I don't know what those are there. I'll have to read the labels. Some are good, and some are not ready. So the ones that are sprouted, I'm going to plant today. Very, very breezy out. Wind is really blasting on the side of the greenhouse. But we've got some space. I don't think I mentioned we had, did I mention that? Wheatgrass. We were starting to starter sprouting trays inside. The sprouting trays made a mess of things because it allowed holes, allowed the roots to come through in a big mass, and we couldn't eat the sprouts. So we put it out here and let it grow. If it turns into wheat, great. If not, not. Whatever. I've got plenty of space around different plants that I can use yet. And we're putting fertilizer in here, so that's fine. I've got space in there. The nettles are doing good. The tomato has doubled in size, the cherry tomato. But I can plant some things around here. I'm not going to put root vegetables there, but I do have space there. Around the chilies, there's a lot of space around the chilies here. Up in here. Up in here's some space yet. And this is really sparse. So I can really plant a lot of stuff. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, there's a tray with radish, white icicle. And that'll dry up and I'll be able to read it. So I've planted all them there. And then as I harvest some, I'll start replacing. I have space in between, so as I harvest some I can start scattering seed in here and just keep eating them as we go. So there will be our radish set, and it doesn't take long for them to grow. Here I got comet radishes and champion radishes, 2 rows of each in here. There should be enough room for 4 radishes in each thing here, but I also sort of staggered them, so it should be fine. I got everything in their various pots. I put some in there. I put some with the lettuce, which is dying. Right here. Sorry, I got water on my camera. Got these 3 things planted. And then I put some interspersed along here. I've got lima beans along this edge so they can climb the wall. Over here I've got fava beans along that edge so they can climb that wall. And I've got some beets up in this area. And some, I think I had put turnips up in this area, and these were the radishes. Here was some salad type plants. So, and there were some more radishes. And there was dill and basil. So the challenge is to keep this stuff moist throughout the scorching hot days we've had recently. I want to build some shelves halfway up the wall over here along this front wall or side wall, and that'll give me more space to put all these plants off the ground. And then I've got to clean off all these shelves and organize better. I think I can be able to organize that a little bit better, but I'll have to see how it goes here. I've got the aquaponics growing very well over there in the corner, so it's coming along. It's a lot of work, but it'll take years before this is done, but it's looking good. Even my popcorn in the pot is growing. Now the popcorn in the ground over here isn't. I don't know what's the difference. The popcorn in the pots is growing. I don't know if it'll make it in time, but it's growing. Hey guys, in my electronics lab, I just finished doing some soldering. That's not cooling off very fast. I got my game camera I've had for a while now. This is this Bushnell Trophy Cam HD that had stopped working on me. So I took it apart and I put some brand new batteries in it, and it wasn't getting power. So I just tested down here and I wasn't getting power in here on the power input port either. So I decided to bypass all that. I put a tiny hole in the bottom and I ran a long wire out of there and soldered it to the wires that go down into here to the bottom port. Now I have a 12 volt connection on my trophy game camera, which I give myself a lot of extra little fine wire. And I don't have any extra 12 volt batteries right now. They're all being restored or they're being used on some project or another. But I got a bunch of these rechargeable 6 volt batteries, and I coupled them together as a 12 volt battery. I put alligator clips on the bottom of the camera wire, and now I have a working camera. It works again. And that's great because we've still had a lot of trouble on the Homestead with security issues, and my equipment has not been working properly for a couple years. Then I took my Tasco camera that was not working. I took it apart and got it working again. So, now this one had been badly water damaged. I don't know how well it's going to work, really. That's the one I had a replacement for because it had water damage. Although it was sealed, that had been destroyed. Although it has a rubber gasket and everything, and it was used as it was properly supposed to be used, it had been destroyed by the elements, oddly. So anyway, it works again. How well it's going to work, I'm not sure. The camera doesn't seem as bad as the infrared LEDs, so nighttime probably won't be as good, which is when I really need it. But, you know, I've got some cameras working, and that's important. So today, I'm not going to show you much of what I'm doing, but I'm amping up security. I got my laptop here so I can pop in a memory card in here. Wow, this is really light without all the batteries. I put a memory card in here, and I can do some testing to make sure it's actually taking photos or video, and then I can pop it right on my laptop and see immediately the results. So there you go. That's what I'm up to for now, and that'll be the end of this section of video until I can get onto something else. So we'll see what comes up here. But I'm going to go place these and carry on with my revamping the security here at the Homestead. That's certainly good news. Hey guys, security work is done. Now it's time to teach Melanie to drive. She wants a driving license, so I'm gonna get this going again. This I had in New York for a lot of years now. I don't remember when I got it now. I don't even remember when I got this. But I kept it. I'm happy I did, because we're going to set up a driving course for Melanie. She'll learn hand-eye coordination and steering and braking and throttle. Now, I put some gas in here, and it fired right up, right away. So it's going to be a good engine. I just have to get the carburetor cleaned. It's not picking up gas from the gas tank. So it could be the pickup is plugged, although it looks good. Oh, weird, it's pulsing. Well, definitely the pickup isn't, the screen is not dirty because it's pulsating. Okay, well, I'm going to get a piece of cardboard out here and do what I do. Clean the carburetor. We'll get this running, I hope. Well, not everything's a perfect and easy fix. I think there's well, I know that there's a diaphragm in the carburetor, and I think it's shot and needs to be replaced. I can get it to run if I pour gas into the top of the carburetor. I clean the carburetor, tore it apart, clean it through and through, so I don't think there's anything inside, but the diaphragm doesn't look that hot anymore, and that's probably what's wrong. I've inflated all the tires, and I know that one over there has a leak on the valve stem because I accidentally rode it when I first got the go-kart, and the tire was flat and I blew out the valve stem, and so I never really rode this. So I could use a paint job. Once I get it running, I'll probably paint it up nice, clean it, I already lubed up most of the joints. I forgot right in here when I was working on it. And I'll take off the wheels and grease any bearings before I really run it. But I've got to work on that engine a little bit before it's ready for the road. It's not pretty, but it did run. It really ran. So I don't know if I mentioned earlier, that's a quad rear end, a kid's quad rear end with a go-kart front end. So the front 2/3 is a normal go-kart, and the back 1/3 is a quad. So it's got suspension, which is really cool. This was a custom-built job, and yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, anyway, there's water and air hissing out of this wheel. So definitely it's leaking. It's absolutely leaking. So I'll go on Amazon and order that tonight. That'll be here in 2 days, and I can replace that. And while I'm doing that, I'll lube up all the bearings. I'm also going to go look for the carburetor diaphragm and get that in the mail. A couple days maybe I'll have this running. We'll see. Hopefully. We'll see how it goes. Garden harvest kale and lettuce? Or what do you got in here? Kale
and peas.
And peas. And fish we got ourselves. It doesn't get better than that, guys. Our first garden harvest of the year.